give y'all a little bit of a nugget here. Jana and I strategically did last week on a walk was we got out there on site, and this is why you want to always take somebody with you in case things like this happen. But we got out on site and we started walking. I started asking the broker some questions. And then I turned my attention to the property manager who was standing there as well and started asking her some questions. Well, the broker kept stepping in, answering the questions for the property manager, and you don't want that. Like that's the time where you back up, you start walking out the door. We need to separate these two cats, right? Because you want to get information. The property manager is probably going to tell you real most of the time real stuff. It's good to get them separated if you see that the broker's controlling the conversation. We do not want that, right? It's cool, go with the flow or whatever. But I kind of tapped Jan on the shoulder. I was like, all right, we need to do our thing. And she knew immediately what needed to be done. She was picking up on the conversation of how the broker was answering it. And there really we didn't have to say much to each other. And then like it was, a matter of a minute and a half, and we had them separated, and we were getting the questions that we needed answers to answered to the best of the property management knowledge, and not the broker trying to feed us some crap. So but it's very important to go and get you guys are out there for a reason. You can go out with 3 or 4 people. It's a lot easier to get people separated. Even the debt guy was out there with us. Like they had brought their debt guy out there trying get him separated, man. Like separate them all. Don't keep the conversation with one person. And you start to pick up knowledge about the property. You start to pick up knowledge about other things when you can kind of get that done. So something to keep in mind.
Love it. So y'all are tracking with us, right? Like you're finding, it's going to be up to you. If you need deal flow, you love to shop, then you got to shop you got to shop the broker pages online. Find an asset that looks good that you're interested in. And then you need to make that contact. I like to write down, I call it our hot sheet, right? Well, first I move it to an Excel spreadsheet and I fill in a little bit of data. Then I take the information from the OM and I put it into like a deal finder hot sheet. It's asking some very critical questions kind of at the next level. So I'm gathering data. Then I'm ready for my call. Then I'm ready for contact. You don't just see a deal and make contact. You got to like get some information so that you can have a respectable conversation and a next level conversation with that broker. And many times you guys can get the OM, sign your CA, your confidentiality, and get the rent rolls and the T12. So I'm digging for information. Now, number one, we love the deal. We love the asset, but then we can start asking some questions. I see here, that we're average rents. Are you guys still at 92% occupied? I'm not asking them, what is your occupancy? You never ask, what is your average rent? You can say, is your occupancy still at 92? Do y'all see the difference? Because now they're like, this person is wasting my time with the call. They're for sure wasting my time. I drove 30 minutes to go tour them a property. You better not be asking me what my occupancy is and what my rent rolls are. You can say, are they still here? What does that tell them? It's a whole different language. It's a whole different positioning. This person's done their homework. It's like somebody, you have an ad out for your company to work at them and they didn't even look up your website. They don't even know what you do. They have no information, right? No way are we going to hire someone. Do your homework. Do your homework as an investor. We have the call. Now we've got them interested. We're our investors, we're excited. This is exactly what we're looking for. When can we schedule a tour? This stuff is happening so quickly. And although it's like a rabbit and the turtle at the same time, right? Like it's some part of it runs really, really quickly and then it's just slow going, closing, slow going. And we got to have our stuff ready to go so that they trust us enough to actually schedule a tour. The fact that they bring their debt guy says you have built confidence, right? Now there's 2 of them coming, 2 of them wasting their time on us. Sure. Sean, what else would you love to say on the asset, locating the asset, getting some of that information, asking the right questions to verify information, not just leave it open-ended.
A little bit of that is knowing your underwriting, right? You guys need to understand the numbers and at least on a high level so that you can talk numbers because they're going to be talking numbers. But split off again, I'm back to the splitting up of the broker and maybe the PM or even the assistant PM. That's when you might want to go back and go, hey, what occupancy y'all at? Like, right, just to see if you get a different answer. But you don't want to be asking that, as Janice said, on the initial walk like you don't know it all. So make sure that you know the numbers, make sure that you understand what the average rent is, what the NOI is. Better have some kind of honed in number of you can talk and tell them, because if you flip out a number that doesn't make sense, you've lost credibility. So